Good afternoon. This is the Computer Graphics Film Show. I'm Dennis Mancl. Um, I'm the chair of the Princeton chapter of ACM. We always have an annual talk about computer graphics, and we always pull some of the videos from the SIGGRAPH conference proceedings. Okay, computer graphics is a worldwide industry. There are video makers everywhere. Now, the Association for Computing Machinery, ACM, sponsors an annual conference on graphics every summer. The ACM Special Interest Group on Graphics, SIGGRAPH. The SIGGRAPH conference in 2024 was in Denver, and there were many exhibitors who contributed animated films. My goal in this presentation is to explain a bit about what goes into making a computer animated film to inspire folks to learn more and, of course, also to have some fun. Now, I'm doing this talk a couple of days after TCF because in the TCF show, I showed a bunch of videos from the SIGGRAPH conference, but I'm unable to post those videos on YouTube because of copyright restrictions. So I'm going to give you a little summary of what I said at SIGGRAPH. You can definitely watch all of the videos that I showed. In fact, I gave this talk back in fall of 2024, and we posted our playlist on the Princeton ACM website. Here are the downloads you can take a look at. To get an overview of different kinds of graphics and animation research, you might start by looking at the SIGGRAPH trailer, which that SIGGRAPH decided, well, we're going to post this on YouTube. And it just shows you that, there's so many different activities that are going on at this conference. Now, they feature artistic films and student films. So the first one here is just this amazing origami video, right? It's produced by a Japanese film studio. And I think the graphics in here are particularly breathtaking. The texture of the paper, the animation, the flowers opening up, the birds flying by, and of course everything is paper, right? But I think the student projects are equally creative, right? Students are able to make interesting and fun video projects with the kinds of software packages that exist today. So there were several videos that were actually featured by students at the Ringling School of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida. This was one of them, Beyond the Farm, and it was a goat adventure. And it's just kind of silly, but the animation was good. I want to talk a little bit about the kinds of graphics tools that are available. In the credits of and in many of the videos that you'll see, in particular for the student ones, the filmmakers mention the software that they use to craft their videos. Now, some of them are things that are like well-known software. Yeah, Adobe Photoshop. I mean, people use that for making images and retouching photos and all of this sort of thing. But there are some other ones that are maybe less well known. I mean, Autodesk has a couple of tools called Maya and Arnold, which are used for 3D image crafting and also for rendering 3D scenes. Nuke from Digital Domain, Premiere from Adobe, right? Many of these are very complete packages. Some of them just do part of the job. So, an animation team will pull from multiple tools, right? ZBrush, Substance, Houdini, um, DaVinci. There's a couple of open source ones in the list here. Blender is very highly considered, and it's an open source tool, which basically means you can get it for free. Uh, it's not all fun and games at SIGGRAPH. Well, some of this is games, but it's like serious physics also. There are research papers presented. The developers of graphic software want to show off their latest techniques in rendering images, capturing human motion, modeling different kinds of figures, or sometimes just playing games. So take a look at this table tennis animation demo. And you see we have the players, the ball, and the table are all simulations, right? But they've actually used some motion capture to basically build their models for how people move and how the trajectory of the ball shows up and what the table is going to look like from different angles. Yes, it's possible to make fun films with open source tools. So here's a special film from an outfit called Blender Labs. Now, Blender, as I said, is an open source animation system free for anyone to download and use. Blender Labs is an organization, it's a commercial studio that was created by the Blender Foundation to promote Blender, to help develop new open source tools on top of it, and they develop some commercial tools too. They develop new tools and then they also run training courses to help beginners, people who want to get into the animation business. And then they make demo films that show off Blender's capabilities, right? So here is one that you can take a look at that they posted in this show. Okay, it's called Wing It. And you can see our two main characters here is a cat and a dog. And they're in some kind of spaceship that's falling apart because they both made mistakes and pushed the wrong button at the wrong time. And it's very colorful and it's very amazing. When you watch this, go to the closing credits and they actually show somebody actually using the Blender tools for building the models or for running them through their motion steps in order to build the scenes. So you can see some of what's actually going on in the software tools. Now, making entertaining films is nice, but graphics is often used for things like scientific visualization. Scientists are using graphics and animation to explain how complex systems work. I can't think of a more complex system than the Earth, and NASA has a particular interest in the Earth, all those satellites going around and taking pictures. So a group of NASA scientists got together and created a visualization of the carbon dioxide data that they were actually able to measure from orbit. I can show this video because it's government research and isn't copyrighted. So the video shows 1 year of the carbon cycle, the CO2 emitted and absorbed by the Earth, right? Uh, in kind of, a model, but it's all in fast motion. What we'll see is a lot of carbon is absorbed by trees and crops in the summer, but not so much in the winter. And that's when extra carbon dioxide actually starts showing up in the atmosphere. All right. So let's take a look at the video. This NASA visualization shows the entire world, and you can see it's blinking green. Those are areas on the surface of the Earth where carbon dioxide is being absorbed by plants, the crops, or trees, right? A lot in the southern hemisphere, by the way. And in the northern hemisphere, you have lots of carbon dioxide emission, right? From cars, from power plants, and from forest fires and things burning. Okay. And you can see here we're in the middle of the summer. It's just getting to the beginning of July. And the graph shows that so far from the beginning of the year to now, the Earth has absorbed more carbon dioxide than has been emitted by about 3 parts per million. But as we get into the fall and the winter, there's less carbon being absorbed because no crops, no trees in the northern hemisphere. And people start up their furnaces. So we're burning more fossil fuel. Yeah, the net effect for the year has been to increase the carbon dioxide by about 2 parts per million in the whole of the Earth's atmosphere. All right. What a great video. I want to leave you with a couple of links to other entertaining videos. My favorite one, because it's just wacky, was this Australian film studio that made a little saga about the race to the coffee machine in the office at 3 o'clock. And of course, we're also going after the last donut. And the characters in this little drama have rocket propelled rolling chairs. Oh, it's amazing. All right. And the last one, this one is a video made by a French film studio, and it was probably the best artistic film in the exhibit at the conference. There's an old man remembering his time at the beach, and you can see the sky, the sand, they get the waves and all of this sort of thing, and it just has this wonderful artistic character to it. So definitely look at those videos, right? They're all on this playlist from the video show that we gave for our Princeton ACM meeting back in October. And make sure that you come to our Princeton ACM 2025 October meeting, where we'll have new graphics films from the SIGGRAPH conference in the summer of 2025 in Vancouver. Okay, thanks for watching and have a good time watching the videos on that link.